The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Pag-asa warns that it will get hotter in the coming days. State Weather Bureau forecaster Veronica Torres said that the heat index in some parts of the country will be especially high. This is true specifically in the cities of Butuan and General Santos, where temperatures could soar to as high as 43 degrees Celsius. This level of heat is already considered dangerous. The heat index is how humans perceive the combination of relative humidity and air temperature. Torres is advising everyone to take precautionary measures to avoid heat stroke.
Lagi tayong magdadala ng payong, pananggalang na din sa mainit na panahon, and also lagi rin tayong iinom ng water dahil importante nga po yun para lagi tayong hydrated.
And it's not just us humans. Pets are likewise vulnerable to the scorching heat. To give us some tips on how to keep our fur babies cool this dry season, we have with us Philippine Animal Welfare Society Executive Director Ana Cabrera joining us via Zoom. Ana, good afternoon and thank you for talking to us this afternoon. How do we prevent our pets from getting heat exhaustion or heat stroke this dry season?
Thank you, Sean. Yes, in order to prevent heat stroke, we should always observe our dogs if they are out in hot weather. Before we let them walk on the hot pavement, we should actually feel the pavement with our palm and see if we ourselves would have difficulty walking on that pavement if we were walking barefooted on the hot pavement. And then we should look out for signs like excessive panting in our dogs, also drooling, excessive drooling. And you will see that your dog is very distressed already with the drooling and the excessive panting. And this could be a sign of heat stroke. Once that happens, immediately cold water, a cool pad could be put in the inner abdomen, this on the underbelly of your dog. That could be the first aid, but please immediately call your vet because there might be a need for intravenous fluids, and it depends on how far gone or how intensive the heat stroke has really hit your pet.
All right, so again, just to wrap up what you said, Ana, so the signs of heat stroke would be excessive panting, excessive drooling, and of course your tips would be for us to feel the pavement first if it's indeed hot. I think I did have a dog that went into heat stroke because of that. Do you have any quick tips on how to, like take care of your pet if you want to take them out of town because of the long holiday coming up next week?
Oh yeah, often people take along their pets because they are family members, but we forget that they are extremely sensitive to the heat. So if we're going to a province that doesn't have, that's really hot, it may be a good idea to keep our pets indoors. They might not be able to keep up with us in terms of activities. Also, take into consideration the breed of your pet. There are many dogs that are brachiocephalic, so they have difficulty breathing. There might be snub-nosed pets. There are pets like huskies that are used to cooler weather and must be in air-conditioned rooms at all times. So keep all this in mind when you do travel, because sometimes we get carried away that our pets can withstand the heat about as much as a human can. But really, they are much more sensitive than us humans. So just always observe them. And the minute they show any sign of discomfort, then you should be able to take them away from that situation. Always err on the side of caution. If you think it is too hot for you, then it'll be too hot for your pet.
All right. Any other tips, Ana, apart from these really good ones you've already shared with us? For pet owners this dry season, what else do we have to keep in mind?
Always keep your pet hydrated and make a bowl of water available to them at all times, because I see some pet owners, we see pet owners, they take away the bowl of water. But for paws, and even in our shelter, while food may be taken away at certain hours, fresh water should always be available for pets, and an area where they can cool off. At the paw shelter, they even have tub of water. We have a mini swimming pool, nothing fancy, but if your pet needs to be able to cool off, you should be able to provide that space for them. Having a barometer in the area that measures the temperature would also be helpful. And also, when you go off on long vacations, and this is the time for long vacations, I think this coming week, you need to be able to have a trusted pet sitter if you're not taking your pet with you. POS has received a lot of reports of pets being left on their own with just plenty of bowls of food or water, but this may not be enough, especially if you're going off for several days. Please make sure there is someone who can periodically check in on your pet, clean up after them, and give them always fresh water.
All right, very sound advice. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. PAWS Executive Director Ana Cabrera. Thanks, Ana. We're going to pause for a quick break, but more stories still to come after this. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. One framer of the 1987 Constitution is strongly against the suggestion to lift the ban on nuclear weapons. Elaine Fulgencio with the report.
Former Associate Justice Adolfo Azcuna, one of the framers of the 1987 Constitution, expressed stern opposition to the proposal seeking the removal of the ban on nuclear weapons. This comes after Presidential Chief Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile suggested lifting the ban, calling it the most serious and unwanted provision of the Charter. Enrile made the proposal during the Senate Committee hearing on constitutional amendments.
In the modern world today, a small country can protect itself against the superpowers if they have nuclear weapons. We should remove that restriction and make the country flexible.
However, as Kuna says, the presence of nuclear weapons will only cause danger.
Hindi dapat magbantay, mag-ambisyon tayo magkaroon ng nuclear weapons dahil dapat i-abolish na yung nuclear weapons na yan kasi delikado, we will have a nuclear holocaust when everybody has nuclear weapons.
As Kuna also fears the possible negative impact if nuclear weapons become common, even for smaller countries. It also puts the Philippines in bad position if allies such as the United States place their nuclear weapons here.
Pwedeng delikado ang tayo natin dahil baka magdala ng nuclear weapons ang Amerika sa atin at hindi natin alam. At because of that, it will attract an attack by other countries on the Philippines.
The Philippines is one of the 90 signatory countries in the treaty to prohibit nuclear weapons signed in 2017. It bans the development, testing, production, acquisition, possession, and stockpiling of nuclear weapons. For his part, international studies professor Renato de Castro says several countries with nuclear weapons have not had any significant impact yet.
Countries have nuclear weapons. Has this triggered a nuclear war? Right? The last time nuclear weapons was used, of course, was in Nagasaki, 1945. There's been no nuclear war since 1945. So I think that is an extreme case of paranoia.
De Castro did note, though, that the Philippines is not capable of producing its own nuclear weapons and that the country is still bound by the treaty even if it amends the constitution. Reporting for News 5, Elaine Fulgencio, PR 1 News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The second phase of Schedule and Terminal Assignment Rationalization or STAR program will begin in April. Under the STAR program, international flights will be reassigned to NAIA Terminals 1 and 3. The Manila International Airport Authority said that 5 more airlines will be transferring to Terminal 3 by April 16. The MIAA expects up to 25% increase in the capacity of Terminal 2, which will become an all-domestic facility. President Bongbong Marcos graced the inauguration of the Caloocan-España NLEX Connector project this morning. The president said that the travel time between Manila to Caloocan and vice versa could be cut down to just 5 minutes with the new road. NLEX Corporation is targeting to open the connector to motorists before the Holy Week. And authorities are warning of even hotter temperatures as the dry season continues. Yesterday, Dagupan, Puerto Princesa, and Davao City registered a heat index of 40 degrees Celsius, while Butuan City, Clark Airport, and NAIA experienced a scorching 39 degrees Celsius. Butuan registered 47 degrees Celsius on Friday, the hottest temperature on record so far this year. Again, a reminder, avoid going directly under the sun and keep hydrated. One News Now will be back at 5:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.